Hello, I'm Helen and I'm here with day 4 of your St Oswald's Easter Gardens online. Now, in your Easter garden you should already have your container with your compost in that Julia told you about. You should have your 3 crosses that Sally showed you how to make or something similar, and you should have your tomb that Lindsay was talking about yesterday. And if you haven't got any of those 3 things, then perhaps go back and check the other videos that we've posted this week so you can catch up before you move on. But I am here to talk about decorating and putting the finishing touches to your garden. So let's have a look. So this is my garden. As you can see, it's a garden that's quite similar to the sort of thing that you will have made if you've been to St Oswald's in previous years. This is actually an old garden from another year when we've done it at church, so it's a bit past its best, but it's still got all the important things that we need, and I'm going to show you some decorations that I've got here to add to it. So I've got a whole pile of different things here. As you can see, I've already looked around the house and found I've put some tin foil in here and made a little sort of a pond there with some tin foil, and I've also got some bits and pieces that I'm going to add in now. So first of all, I've got these leaves. Now, don't just go pulling leaves off plants. That's not all right unless you've got permission first. Now, if there is somebody in your house who does gardening, then they might well have some clippings that you would be able to use. They might let you take a few leaves from a plant, or what I have done is actually taken some leaves off a bunch of flowers that was in a vase in our front room. They're starting to die now, so I've just taken a few leaves and also a few petals to put in the garden for decorations. So I'm adding these in as little plants. There. So here are some of the petals. I'm going to put just there. Hopefully they look a little bit like some flowers. Now, what's something that's very popular when we do this every year is making a path, and we always have lots of little stones and pebbles to put into the gardens to make a little stony path that goes all along past the crosses and all the way up to the tomb. And something else that people like a lot is glass gems, and I think I'm going to put mine at the edge of the water there. I'm sure that when you do yours you can do a lot better than this, but these are just a few ideas anyway. And another popular thing is shells, small shells that you might just dot around to make things look more interesting. Now, we usually have seedlings that you can actually plant into the compost in your garden. I haven't got any of those now. This is a plastic plant, so if you have got any of those, you could try sticking a bit of those into the ground. But if you do manage to get hold of any little plants or any little seedlings, you can just dig down into the soil, push in the earth with the roots of the plant in, and then cover it over as well, and hopefully it will grow for a little while. So that's my garden looking a bit prettier than it did before. And the last thing that I need to tell you is about the tomb. Now, the tomb is there because of Jesus's body being laid in the tomb after he had died. And on the first Easter Sunday morning, some of Jesus's friends were a bit concerned that Jesus had been buried in quite a hurry, and they wanted to bring some ointments and some spices to put on his body to make it a bit nicer burial for him, because that's what they did in those days. So they went along to the garden where the tomb was, and they were very surprised to find that the stone had been rolled away from the tomb, and the tomb was completely empty. And that was confusing for them, but actually what it meant was that Jesus was alive. God had raised Jesus to life, and he did appear to his friends and lots of different people in the next few days and weeks. And that's what we're celebrating on Easter Sunday. So if you remember, on Easter Sunday morning, when you see your garden, you can move the stone away from the tomb and show that the tomb is empty. Now, we would love to see what your finished gardens look like. I don't know whether you've done one like this in a tray or in a bowl. I don't know whether it maybe is in your garden. Maybe it's in a little flower pot. Maybe you've made a Lego garden, or drawn a picture of a garden, or done a collage of a garden, or made a cake that looks like a garden. But we would love to see them all, so please do send your photographs in. There's information about that on the page, but please do be aware this is a public Facebook page, so anybody on the internet can see it. So if there are any people in your pictures, either you or anybody else, then please check with an adult to make sure that it's okay for those people to be on the internet before you send the picture. I hope you have a very happy Easter. Please come back tomorrow for the final part in our week of videos.